Are you? Yes.
Who's the fourth person in this?
Darlene, is she still on this? Darlene, Meg, Meg. Yeah, I was gonna move them once I got everything all set up.
I took care of that for you.
Thank you so much.
Got it all taken care of. We're ready to go.
Steve, come in.
No, I haven't gotten this. I got this side set up.
Then I don't mean to upset you.
People down now. See, you're just adding to my frustration.
I'm so sorry. Man. Well, I did print out a copy for you. It's Teams.
I got it on my computer. I don't-
Got half a Jimmy John sandwich if you.
No, I. You probably got some supplements.
No,
Right?
that's it.
That's what the sandwich is all about.
Avocado spread.
No, see, you ruined it right.
I just go with it.
See, I am a man with a 10-year-old's palate. I do not like,
This bologna cheese on the.
do not like food, do not like food. I can find something at any restaurant I go to, so I'm not that bad. But
I'm gonna guess who came in the front door and tell them.
no, it's not.
I can do it.
I get it. I get it.
How'd you, did you come in the back?
No, but I had to go backwards, but I.
Oh, I owe you one now.
Favorite.
Yep.
Front row
Oh,
is aggravating everybody.
um. Just the one? Them all?
Four.
Yeah.
Four. And I don't know, I haven't figured out where Meg fits in with this. Cause she votes the way we vote, which is opposing them.
She needs to speak into the microphone. I'm gonna have to tell her that. It's not very.
Audible.
So, I was telling John. So, Sparrow.
Yeah.
And I said, have you been in there lately? He goes, no. Because he thought the stage was on the back of the patio or the deck going out to the yard. I'm like, no, they moved it out and it's facing the road. I said, yeah, one of the bathrooms isn't working. The place is packed to capacity. He gave me one of the clickers. So he goes, you and your friend, there you go, off duty, just go on in there, do the, I almost did that this weekend. Is that just one of the many, I'm sure?
There's three issues. I don't believe you have enough toilets.
Oh, God, no.
I don't believe you hit 100 people and you turn people away. I believe there's gonna be 200 people out there on a concert night.
Absolutely.
You don't have toilets for 200 people.
No.
You don't have parking for those people. We gave you a conditional use permit to do off-site parking, which is parking on the property next door.
Not across the road.
Wait,
Good evening. This meeting has been given public notice in accordance with section 19.83 and 19.84 of Wisconsin state statutes in such form that will apprise the general public and news media of subject matter that is intended for consideration and action. Roll call shows all committee members present in addition to the four trustees. We'll have a presentation of awards now, and I'm assuming that Chief Delane will be presenting awards this evening.
Thank you very much. Through the course of the last few months, we've had some pretty significant and potentially life-threatening incidents at the fire department. And we'd like to take a minute to recognize some of those members of our department who went above and beyond. If I could get the battalion chiefs up here. So these awards are presented by the battalion chiefs that were in charge of those incidents on those days. And I would like to have them read off what they have to say, and I will present those people with the awards as they come up.
Good.
All right, this incident occurred on May 6, 2024. The fire department was requested for an individual who did not have a pulse and was not breathing. Prior to EMS arrival, GPD officers were on scene performing CPR. Shortly after the fire department arrived and GPD officers advised no shocks were given to the patient. The Germantown Fire Department took over CPR and began providing advanced cardiac life support in accordance with their protocols. While doing advanced cardiac life support, the crew on scene delivered 4 shocks, ultimately converting the patient to a normal sinus rhythm. The patient had a return of pulses prior to leaving the scene. While en route to Frederick Menominee Falls Hospital, the patient regained spontaneous respirations. The crew continued to provide advanced cardiac life support on the way to the hospital, and the patient ultimately ended up being discharged from the hospital days later. The skills, knowledge, and teamwork of the responders on this call successfully brought the patient back to life. For this reason, it is my honor to present the following members the Life Saving Award. Would the following members please come forward and remain in front? We have 2 that are not here tonight. Lieutenant Amy Bowl is currently on vacation, and firefighter EMT Craig Rossman is not here. But if I could have firefighter paramedic Alex Dimatopoulos come up here. And firefighter EMT Mike Martinick. And on behalf of the Germantown Fire Department and the Village of Germantown, I'd like to thank you for your selflessness actions on this event. You have made the village a safer place. Congratulations.
On April 26, 2024, the Germantown Fire Department was requested for reported dryer fire inside of a multi-unit apartment building. At the arrival of the first fire unit, we were made aware that there were 3 individuals still inside of the affected apartment. 2 of the individuals were able to be quickly removed from that apartment. At the arrival of the next units, the crew made entry into the unit, made initial knockdown of the fire, entered further into the building to the last individual inside, who was mobility impaired. The crew was able to work as a team and remove the individual from the immediately dangerous to life and health area. The ambulance crew was also able to immediately perform advanced medical care for the patient, who was ultimately transported by West Bend Fire Department to the hospital. While the crew may deny that their actions that day were heroic, there is no doubt that they operated in a heroic fashion with precision and dedication to the tradition of the fire service. The Unit Commendation Award is awarded to groups of members who have performed service to the department in a highly commendable manner. Each of these individuals have certainly done that on this incident. The following members, please come forward and remain in front. Firefighter medic Derek Beeler. Firefighter medic Megan Clark. Firefighter EMT Michael Martinick. Firefighter medic Forrest Rodman. Firefighter EMT Craig Rossman is not here with us tonight. Firefighter medic Alex Demontopoulos. And paramedic Josephine Ward is not here with us tonight either. On behalf of the Village of Germantown Fire Department, I thank you for your selfless actions on this incident. You have made the village a safer place. Thank you. The last award for the evening, on June 9th, 2024, the Germantown Fire Department was requested for an individual who did not have a pulse and was not breathing. The Germantown dispatchers provided CPR instructions to the bystander over the phone while the Germantown Fire Department was responding. Initial responders from the police department attached their AED and delivered one shock prior to our arrival. Chief Snow, I'd appreciate if you could pass along a thank you to your officers for that. Shortly after the fire department arrived and began providing advanced cardiac life support in accordance with our protocols. Advanced cardiac life support is the same treatment that anybody would get inside of an ER facility by doctors and physicians that our paramedics are trained to provide. The members provided this care and the patient regained a pulse. The crew continued to provide advanced cardiac life support and transported the individual. To receive the life-saving award, the individual must be a member of the department who is principally involved in saving the life of another person and whose personal actions were directly responsible for the life-saving event. The skills, knowledge, and teamwork of the responders on this call successfully brought this patient back to life. For that reason, it is my honor to present the following members the life-saving award. Would the following members please come forward and remain in front? Firefighter MPO Dick Vanderheiden. Firefighter MPO Chris Niggemeyer is not here this evening. Firefighter paramedic Chris Piet. The following three individuals are not here this evening either. Firefighter paramedic John Wolf, firefighter paramedic Susie Weisflow, and firefighter paramedic Sean Schaefer. On behalf of the Germantown Fire Department and the Village of Germantown, I thank you for your selfless actions on this incident. You've made the village a safer place.
That is all the awards we have for this evening. I want to congratulate every one of you. It's a pleasure working with you. You guys are true professionals, and I am very proud of you guys. Thank you again.
Thank you, Chief Delane. Thank you, Battalion Chiefs, and I'd like to echo the sentiments previously expressed. We are forever in your debt. Thank you. Next is citizen input. Please be advised that per section 19.84, that information and comment will be received from the public. It's the policy of this municipality that public input be limited to 3 minutes per person, with time extension granted at the discretion of the chairperson. Please be advised that there may be limited discussion of the information received, but no action will be taken under public comments. Would any member of the public like to offer comments this evening, please? Seeing that there are none, we'll move on to item 5, which is the approval of the minutes from the June 3rd, 2024.
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in, any comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion passes. We'll move on to section 6, which is our monthly reports. We'll start with Chief Snow, please.
Thank you. I think of special note in the monthly report is in particular our chapter 51s where we had 6 this last month. The month before we had 3. 3 is a significant number, so to have 6 in 1 month with the time it takes dedicated. When you talk about the clearance and finding placement for them, that is a lot of resources for that. That's just chapter 51, so that doesn't include all mental health that we would have responded to where they didn't necessarily perform a chapter 51 or ACS may have just responded. But it's significant and it's part of just more of what we're seeing with kind of the mental health crisis that everybody's dealing with. We are making every effort to utilize the Washington County Crisis Response Teams. That is a team that's available to assist us in some capacity, but they won't sit with the person when they're looking for medical clearance. We still have to do that, but we are trying to utilize them when we can. They have provided a valuable resource in that they will continue to follow up with the cases that they respond to. So if this is a person that's in crisis that needs additional care, additional attention beyond that, they will follow up with that person in a way that we wouldn't or that they wouldn't necessarily receive just going through a chapter 51. Traffic stops are way up. We are in the middle of a seatbelt grant, a speed grant, that our officers are out there significantly more hours. We also have a number of officers in training and we just have a lot of really motivated officers. So our traffic stops are really going down. Our officers are very active in just trying to get address problem issues around the village where traffic is a primary concern throughout the village. Those were kind of the highlights of what I had for this evening.
Thank you, Chief Snow. Committee, any questions for Chief Snow, please? Thank you, Chief Snow. Chief Delane, please.
So I apologize. My monthly report did not make it into your packet this month, but I'll make sure I get that and you'll have 2 for next month then.
Thank you, Chief Delane. Gentlemen, overtime reports. Chief Delane, please.
We're about the same as we were last month, which is still significantly down from the beginning of the year.
Excellent. Thank you. Chief Snow, please.
It's certainly moving in the right direction and we have 2 going into field training, 1 coming off of field training, going to help even more. So we're anticipating that those numbers are going to continue to gradually decrease throughout the year.
Thank you, Chief Snow. Committee, any questions for either one of the chiefs on overtime, please? Trustee
Chair.
Baum.
Chairman Hudson, Chief Delane has an item B1 that he has a thank you he wanted to read.
Apologize. Chief Delane, didn't mean to skip you. It is. Citizen thank you to the Germantown Fire Department.
I don't have it.
Me to read it?
Sure.
Okay, this was part of the packet. On Monday, June 17th, about 3:30 in the afternoon, an engine was responding to a motor vehicle accident at Pilgrim and Hudson, going east on Mequon at Legend, and children ran across the road at the lights, and the engine came to a complete stop while it was running emergent. Even though the intersection traffic stopped and heard the sirens, the kids still ran across the road without looking. Gary and Jan, I don't have their last name, stopped into the station to let us know they were going west at the light and saw it all unfold and are truly thankful that Germantown Fire Department put safety first and made sure that what was happening in front of us was the priority, not where you were headed. It could have been an awful situation with serious injuries if you hadn't been so careful. So they stopped in to say thank you. It was a lot of traffic and they saw it all unfold and were pretty scared about it. So it's good to know we have good drivers.
Thank you. Thank you, Amy. Back to the sorry, Trustee Baum. Thank you. Yes.
So what is driving the reduction in overtime since the beginning of the year? Are we getting the staff that we need? Have you hired enough people? Or it's just, we're not sick, we're not hurt, we're not on vacations? What are we seeing?
Back from leave.
For fire, it's a combination of all those.
Yeah, all the above, but I think the staffing and getting the people trained in a timely fashion, the lateral transfers have helped because they don't require the same length of field training as an officer coming out of the academy. So that's certainly helped us as well. The two that we just hired are also lateral transfers, so we're anticipating that their field training process will be abbreviated as well.
Good. Okay, thank you.
Can we ask why they're making the switch from one department to another? Any insight into that?
In some it's just location. One officer works down in Greendale but lives in Menominee Falls.
Okay.
He's been
Easier
down there
commute?
about
Yep.
4 years and decided he does want to stay in this area. Another officer came to us from Hartford. Just thought with the growth of the department and some of the things available that he wanted to make the change. The other officer is from town of Oconomowoc. So again, just felt like there was probably some more things available at the Germantown PD.
Thank you. Gentlemen, policy updates. Chief Snow.
Nothing from police.
Nothing from fire.
Thank you. We'll move on to unfinished business. Item 7, public safety building, continued discussion and updates.
So our multi-juris transition has been completed. Still working through some minor hiccups, but for the most part has been working well. It's not a huge change for our officers. They're seeing the same types of things, but so that was a huge step for us in the event that we need county to take over before the transition begins. We are still on schedule to have third shift changeover at the beginning of September. July is going to be a rough month with people on vacation, and we have one dispatcher that's going through the hiring process with Ozaukee County. We just don't know the status of that at this point, but that'll certainly be a major hit if she leaves in the interim.
Thank you. Committee, any questions, please? Trustee Baum?
So your comments were to the transfer to the county. On that note, are our times still the same? We were always talking about response times. Are we still hitting our response times, or is there a delay? Because that was expected, is it's gonna take longer.
Ours are still the same because we still have the same staffing requirements on day shift and second shift. So we haven't really, although our dispatchers have certainly felt the brunt of it because they're working the extra hours. But as far as response time, we're still being dispatched in the same manner we always have.
Same with fire?
Same with fire.
Okay. This topic was actually public safety building. So I thought we were gonna talk about the building and where you're at with
Is
the
that,
building.
which is it supposed to be building or is it?
I'm sorry.
Our first meeting regarding the public safety building will be on July 10th at 9:30 in the morning is a walk through the buildings with Grafe. So nothing has changed since the last time.
Trustee Pieper, could you clarify there might be some confusion as to your ask.
Well, I think I asked a little prematurely because I think the village board kind of answered all of it, and it's with Grafe right now. And until we have updates with Grafe, there's really not much we can discuss.
Thank you. Moving on to, anything else about any aspect of 7? Great. Moving on to 8A, please. Application for a temporary Class B beer and Class B wine retailer's license.
Motion, sorry. Go ahead.
Annual Germantown Historical Society's Oktoberfest, September 28th and 29th, at Dinesville Historic Park, please. Committee?
Motion to approve new business item A.
Second,
We have a motion and a second. Committee, any comments, please? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion passes. 8B, producer full service retail sales application for Old Germantown for the Germantown Historical Society's 50th anniversary event on June 13th, 2024 at Dinesville Historical Park.
Motion to approve new business item B as presented.
second,
Committee, we have a motion and a second. Any comment? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion passes. 8C, producer full service retail sales application for Old Germantown for music at the Pavilion for July 11th, July 18th, August 1st, and August 15th at Fireman's Park.
Motion to approve new business item C as presented.
second,
We have a motion and a second. Committee, any comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion passes. 8D, application for one-time outside premise extension for Big Sky Country.
Motion to approve new business item D as presented.
second,
And this is a one day, 2 day event. This is a very limited time event, correct?
1 day.
Thank you. Committee, any comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion passes. Item 8E, purchase of a new. Yes.
Me.
Purchase of a new Germantown Fire Department ambulance. Chief Delane, please.
For the 2024 budget, capital budget, we had budgeted for purchase of a new ambulance. I know it seems like we've been asking for a lot of ambulances lately. Our ambulances get a lot of use. In addition, lead times on ambulances have significantly increased. We are looking to purchase, looking for $400,000 to purchase an ambulance from Foster Coach out of Illinois. This ambulance will not arrive to us for about 3 years. That's about how far they're out now. So this would keep us in check with our rotations. The whole thing was not bonded this year. Only part of it was. The remainder of it will be bonded when it arrives.
Committee.
I'll,
Steve Bowen.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve for discussion.
Second.
How are we paying for this then? We're
It
gonna,
will be bonded. They had to have a portion of it up front.
where's that money coming from? We're borrowing that?
We did budget for
We
it.
did budget for
We
it.
did budget for it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, if we budgeted for it, that's fine then.
Any other comments, please?
What does bonded mean?
Borrowed.
Borrowed.
In our capital borrowing program, it's in there as a line item.
Okay.
So I don't know,
Improvements.
what are we borrowing? $3 million this year?
Usually about that, yes.
Yeah, so it's in there as a line item that,
Thank you. Any further comments about 8E, please? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. 8F, siren system activation after our transition to Washington County. Chief Snow, I believe this is your item.
It is. Let me find out where I need to be here. When we transition over to Washington County, right now our dispatchers activate the emergency warning system. They won't be able to do that. We have to have something in place that will allow that to happen if we want to be able to utilize our sirens. There's a couple options, and folks from Sheboygan Siren are here to explain those options better than I can, if that's okay.
Please.
I did attach those with the cost of each.
All the way down until the red goes away, please. Really hard.
Really got to give it a push.
There you go. All right, committee members, thanks for having us out tonight. I'm Tom Diener, co-owner of Sheboygan Wiring Systems. This is Carter, the other co-owner, and our lead service technician, Josh Schmierler. So to go into a little bit of in-depth on how the current way the system works is, so currently the dispatchers log into the software that is just remotely just at the dispatch center. So like all they can do is like it's the same screen that they were doing I'm responding on. It's a little screen up on the wall, and then it sends the tones out to trigger the sirens. We've worked with a lot of municipalities down in Washington County here, both the emergency management, the dispatchers. No one wants anything to do with siren activation. It is quite odd considering that most other counties in Wisconsin, technically every other county, I think, activates the sirens for their municipalities. Down here, I don't know what happened, but Hartford does their own. Newburgh has a little portable radio that they try to get signal with to activate their sirens, and then you guys had your own dispatch center to activate the sirens. So Hartford was in a similar situation that they just had their own dispatch center similar to you guys. They lost their dispatch center earlier in the year, so we had to update their software as well to get the NOAA alerts. That way they could still activate their sirens. So with that, it gets rid of the dispatcher. All it does is watch the National Weather Service cap feed every 10 seconds. And for them, when a tornado warning is issued for Hartford or Slinger, it sets all the sirens off. So the current system you guys have, like just in the dispatch center, like most of this doesn't affect the sites right now, what's going on inside the dispatch center. But it just, you can't remote into it. It's from, we believe, between 2002 and 2007 is when the reversion of that software is from. So there's no way to remote into it, you know, safely or reliably without possibly jeopardizing, you know, your guys' internet servers and whatnot. So it's kind of a weird situation to be in. So we do have a couple of different options that my partners here can explain in better detail than I can.
Yeah, so there's a few different options for you guys. So we did bring up the option of moving over to Hartford and Slinger's activation site, like their little server that they have. We did go out to a few of your guys' sites. We got signal at one of the sites. That was the closest to them. We didn't test out any of the rest of them, but we went to the furthest site and that was no good. Then again, we were using a small handheld radio as opposed to how the antennas are on the sirens where they're up on the pole. So that was a bit of a change, but that being said, I don't think we feel comfortable going that route just because of that reliability issue. That being said, we could go into doing repeaters from where you guys would have a repeater here, a Motorola repeater that would repeat signal, and our radio tech was getting into it. It was going to be a whole jumbled mess. So we kind of didn't like that idea. We could still present that better. We didn't do a ton of we didn't go too deep into it. It was a bit of a rabbit hole. But it seemed like the best option was to do your own next gen server, as much as we didn't want to do that. I mean, there also was the option of doing a weather radio, although we don't like the reliability of that either. We've only used that on small scales. For example, like a Milwaukee Marina, we have a little weather radio that activates it. I don't think that would be sufficient here where you guys have 15 siren sites and it's a whole village. So that would be something to look into.
Any questions on that? Otherwise, Josh can explain the software a bit better.
Josh, please explain the software and then we're going to have at least a few questions.
Absolutely.
Of course. So to kind of explain what we're gearing towards with what we've presented so far in the conversation is the two options that you're realistically looking at is either it boils down to, are you going to keep your two-way communications with the siren sites, or are you going to revert back to kind of a more basic one-way system where right now the software that you have is set up where it monitors the actual siren sites, I believe twice a day. It pulls them and it sends back a response. And we do have that option. So you would update the server and the software that you currently have where you would have the two-way communication still. The benefit of this would be you can still, have a service company keep an eye on them. You know, you could designate someone to kind of keep an eye on the sites once a day. And then it would have the auto activation. The second option that we're really pushing for is going to be, again, reverting back to that one-way system where you're not going to see the status of each siren sites. There's still plenty of communities that do that nowadays, but you would have the auto activation. So pretty much one way or the other, you would be required to purchase software and host it on your, village server. And then it would be up to you whether you want that two-way communication or not. The one-way communication, we basically go out and we reprogram all the sites. There's not, I don't believe, any hardware required on the siren end. For the two-way communications to happen, you would have to update each siren site with a new terminal unit to kind of communicate back with your new software. One way or the other, auto activation is awesome. It's something that a lot of communities here in Washington County are kind of gearing towards. I know, like they had mentioned, Hartford. I know Jackson has been using auto activation for at least a couple of years now. They say it's awesome, works great. They only have 2 siren sites that they went and purchased all of the software for.
So we have 2 options. Option 1 is a one-way communication. Option 2 is two-way communication. Option 2, substantially more upgrading than option 1, correct? Okay. And cost for option 1, please, gentlemen?
Option 1 was around, I just finished editing that since I had to remove a few things. I can quick find it here.
Well, he is getting the cost of that. I want to mention too, that even if you go with the one-way now, you can upgrade sites as needed if you want that two-way status back. It's not, if you don't do it right now, you lose it forever. It's, as funds become available, you can do one at a time, all of them, whatever.
Yeah, before I actually pull it up, oh, here we go. Oh, well, let me pull it up, nice. I might have to grab my laptop for that, but I believe the amount was around, I want to say it could have been just slightly more than 25,000. I want to say the amount was.
And option 2, please?
Option 2 was
107.
107.
Okay.
And option 3 was 4,400.
Well, that was when we were gonna try to hook up with Hartford and Slingers
So that's
system.
not an option anymore.
Option,
Well, we could do that. It's just then there's still gonna be other costs due to having to repeat that signal.
Yeah.
And then we need to check into licenses if they're allowed to repeat that signal that far because you kind of have a range. Otherwise, you can get in trouble if you go within that or out of that.
Looking at cost benefits of all of the options, when it's all said and done, the one-way auto activate option would likely be more cost effective than trying to get a signal from Hartford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because by the time you look into a repeater and everything to get from Hartford here, you're almost at the cost of having your own software and your own control. I'm sure you guys probably work well with, other municipalities in Washington County. But, at least it's here, you have control of it over it. If something goes wrong, you're not on the cusp of, hey, Hartford, fix your stuff because our sirens aren't going. Historically, they've been pretty good about it, but that's just something you could run into. We know it's a 200 watt, it's a 200 watt ERP signal coming from Hartford. So we have, it gets to, at least one of the sites. The issue is in all the sirens here, it's only a 20 watt radio. So the concern is it getting it back if you're doing the two-way status type of thing.
Trustee Pieper, please.
So right now, we activate it locally. The dispatchers do, correct?
That is correct, yeah.
So is it possible that somebody else in the police station could activate it once our dispatch is changed?
I think we're still gonna have to this year after September, where we would have a supervisor basically come in, monitor, and activate the sirens when we have severe weather. Moving forward, that would be more problematic when we don't have any dispatch and not necessarily have someone assigned to the station.
I thought we were gonna still have at least one person in our station.
That goal was that like 7 to 7 PM,
Sure.
but that's not necessarily gonna help us in the overnight hours.
Okay. What is Capital Data's involvement with this? So you're talking about updating servers, updating software.
It would be its own separate server. It's kind of, looks like a, like a desktop tower
Sure.
PC.
Sure.
It's actually a server like
So
inside of there. It would-
Why can't we use a dedicated VPN to,
You know, that's an option. That's definitely an option we can try. The issue is the computer that's currently running the software is like Windows XP, and it's God knows how old. And I don't know, what you guys have for firewall and whatnot on that sort of thing. We've,
have you guys worked with Capital Data at all
no.
to see if there's a different computer? I'm sure we have a newer computer
Yeah,
that's
well,
running Windows XP.
Well, the issue is the software does not play nice with anything newer than Windows XP. We can try. We have a community, New Berlin.
Where it can only run with Windows XP.
No, our software is currently made, so it actually runs off of Linux, and that's like constantly evolving, always updating, all that sort of thing. And the software comes with a lifetime of support, Linux updates, software updates, all that sort of thing. The existing software that's being used to control the sirens right now is based around like,
Would they have to get the server through us, or would they be able to do it on their own?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
would they be able to create like a virtual server on
Yeah.
one of our dedicated hosts?
yeah, so that's something we can talk to the techs at American Signal about, as long as it can, do like Linux and Google Chrome and that sort of thing. It's something we can talk to Kevin and Malik at American Signal about, and Sean Ellen. They're the gurus of the next gen and whatnot.
To me, that would be the most logical and cost-effective way. Would be a dedicated VPN and creating a virtual server on one of our hosts. I would recommend that you guys get in contact with our IT company and ask them what
Yeah.
they would be able to work with you for.
Because I think American Signal doesn't really offer that, because not a lot of communities are willing to offer that. But if you guys are willing to work with us, and we can
Well, a
definitely figure
dedicated
something out.
VPN would be,
Yeah, we could easily set it up for that, yeah. So we could, we'll talk with American Signal, and then we'll rework that quote, and then should
Okay.
come down quite a bit as well.
so I'm gonna make a motion to table this until next month's meeting, until we get a little more information from Capital Data, and also what the cost would be for dedicated VPN.
So how is 4 weeks enough for you guys, or
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely.
what is how much time on this do we have, please?
I think certainly by next year, we would want to have
Okay.
an answer for
So we
this.
have
Plenty of time.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
We got 6 months.
we got 6 months. That's
Because if you can put us in contact with, get us with your IT, this Capital Data, whatnot, basically what we're gonna do is turn it over to the guys that code this software and work on these servers, and be like, all right, you experts talk to these experts, because, we're familiar with like, the operations level of the software, all that sort of thing, the code that goes into it, a little bit over the top of the head, so.
Okay, so trustee Peeper,
That was my motion.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. Committee, any other comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Yeah, if
We
any
look forward to
questions come up,
talking to you again in a
anytime,
month.
Chief Snow has our numbers, emails, so feel free to get in contact with him, and he'll reach out to us.
And Chief,
Thanks,
can you
guys.
get them the contact information for Capital Data?
I will do that, yes.
Thank you. Item 8G is squad changeover. Chief Snow, I believe this is yours also.
We had budgeted for 3 squads. We have purchased 2 of those squads that we've received prior approval for. We are looking to do the changeover on those squads. We're looking for the funds to do that. That was budgeted for in that same account that the purchase came out of.
Motion to approve new business item G as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Committee, any comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion passes.
Thank you.
Let's give Amy a moment to catch up with us. No.
Ready? Okay.
Do you know what we just did? Okay,
I made a motion for item G. He second. It was approved.
Unanimously.
okay. You're up to speed now? Okay.
8H, thank you. Approval of grant resolution, Chief Delane, this one's yours, I believe?
Yes, Washington County, for public safety offered a grant, this year. The fire department from that grant will receive $177,000. Part of that grant is this committee and the village board, needs to approve the county's resolution. That's basically saying, yes, we will accept this money.
Make a motion to approve new business item H as presented.
Second,
Trustee Bone, please.
what is this money allowed to be used on?
That's the next item on the agenda.
Okay. I have to approve this before I can get to the next one. Okay,
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Item 8I, please, hiring of 2 full-time firefighters and medics. Chief Delane, please.
The grant that was just previously approved from Washington County can be used for a number of different things for the fire service, from fire gear to vehicles, equipment, maintenance of equipment, and hiring of personnel. Fire department would like to use approximately 50,000 of that grant money to hire 2 of our referendum personnel early. As some of you may be aware, there were a number of referendums that passed when our referendum went through, and competition will be stiff. So the sooner we can get some of them in the door, the better off we will be.
Make a motion to approve new business item I as presented.
Chief Delane, would this cover the entire additional cost if we started to hire immediately? The grant?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
It's 50,000 for 2 people, so that would be, was it like 6? It'd be pretty close,
Okay.
but we're looking for 2 for right now that will finish off our eligibility list from the last time the Police and Fire Commission approved them.
Okay, thank you. Committee, any other questions, please?
Then the balance of the grant money, do you have plans for that right now?
We do have some ideas for it. We're kind of holding on to it to kind of see what the needs are, be it between, if we have correct gear for our new hires, or if we have to purchase some of those gears, if there are improvements that we will need to the station after some of this gets moving. So we're kind of just holding on to it right now and to see where it gets us, so we kind of have something in reserve if we need it.
Committee, any further comments, please?
on I.
Yes.
8I, that's correct.
I, okay, no.
We'll vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, motion passes. 8J, purchase of portable radios for the fire department. Chief Delane, please.
The fire department received another grant. This was the Washington County Radio Grant, for a total of $64,000 from Washington County. We would like to get approved spending $73,726.42 to pay for 10 new portable radios. The remaining amount of money will come out of our current capital account that we have money in.
And was this budgeted for?
This was budgeted.
Okay. Motion to approve new business item J.
Second,
Committee, questions, comments, please? Item J. Trustee Bone?
I guess my question goes back to all 3 of these, the excess money from the grant. What are we doing with that we aren't spending? Putting it in an account somewhere for,
So the excess money from the first grant, the $177,000, that is, we're hanging on to it to see what will be needed for the people that we do hire in the future. In other words, if we don't have fire gear that fits them, instead of using our line item for fire gear, we would like to take it out of that grant money, but we need those people in-house first to see.
so
we can
the
do.
balance of the money is just gonna be put aside for future use
Correct.
to be determined. Okay,
Thank you.
no further questions.
Committee, any further questions? We'll vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, motion passes. Next item on our agenda,
That's it.
that's
Next meeting date,
next meeting date,
August 5th.
August 5th at 6 PM. on
August 5th.
August 5th, first Monday in August.
Yes, okay.
Okay. August 5th, 6 PM in the Village Boardroom. Thank you, and we'll be adjourned for this evening.
6